Headmistress Starr reached forward and straightened the long piece of paper from the small device on the corner of her desk. It resembled a telegram machine, in that it had a wheel and gears and turned out a narrow message of sorts. She ripped off the paper and guided it through her hand, reading silently. Finally, she lowered it and sighed. "What's that?" Paris pointed at the machine. "It's a tele-eventer," Willow answered. "It tells us about potential matches, breakups, and other events that are directly affecting the love meter." "What events has it been detailing?" Paris read the tension on the headmistress's face. "I don't know much about social media," Willow began, squinting at the message. "So you'll have to excuse me in that I'm not sure I can make too much sense of this. Apparently, globally, there's a rise in turmoil in romantic relationships, resulting in a myriad of problems and, inevitably, breakups. Hence the drop on the love meter?" Paris guessed. Willow nodded. "And apparently, through St. Valentine's office, matters of the heart, which is where the communications of the tele-eventer came from. The problems are being linked to social media." "Well, it can be a source of drama," Paris related. She wasn't much for socializing through such means, mostly because she didn't socialize. She wasn't turning down any friend requests because she didn't get many, only from that one gnome who wanted to show her a good time, and she was going to show him a fist if he didn't stop messaging her. "Matters of the Heart is conflicted about this problem," Willow continued. "They think social media isn't the ultimate culprit and could be a tool used for good as much as bad." "That makes sense," Paris reasoned. "I mean, you can kill a man with a knife, or it can be his very survival, depending on the situation." Willow laid down the paper from the tele-eventer. "I can see that, and things like FriendNet being a way to connect couples or help them to court, but in recent instances, it appears the medium is instigating feuds. Infidelity, arguments, and breakups are on the rise, and St. Valentine believes that FriendNet is responsible, although he's not sure how." She sighed, looking at a loss. "This is where we are coming up short, because we don't have enough expertise in such matters. It shouldn't have come across my desk, but it has, which makes me think St. Valentine doesn't know how to attack the situation," Paris guessed, filling in Willow's sentence. The headmistress glanced at the open door before redirecting her gaze at Paris. "There's that, but I also sense that St. Valentine is getting a lot of scrutiny and pressure from FGA. The board is increasingly criticizing his progressive ways. Problems linked to love only serve to make matters of the heart look worse for endorsing such methods for matchmaking." Paris pulled her lips to the side, thinking. "Well, it sounds like if we're going to keep evolving and not give them a reason to go back into the dark ages of romance and tradition, then we have to get to the bottom of all this." Willow nodded. "Yes, but as I said, I'm not as well versed on these technical things." Paris grinned. "Lucky for you, there's a new generation at the college." "Paris, you have a lot on your plate," Willow stated. "Although I appreciated your help with the last mission, because I have so much on my plate that I don't want to think about is exactly why you should let me help," Paris argued. She considered this for a moment. "I was evaluated harshly for allowing a first- and second-year student to handle a case, which turned out successful," Paris countered. "That's true," Willow affirmed. "However, this problem with the conservatives at FGA and the board is only going to get worse," Paris cut in once more. "I sense you know that the only way for fairy godmothers to be successful is to evolve and learn how to create love in the modern world. Those who are married to the old ways of thinking will continue to serve as the opposition, especially if they're monitoring the current administration and putting supervisors here at the college. So the way to get ahead of them is to figure out this problem and fix it using our new, unorthodox methods. Then they won't be able to deny that adapting to the modern age is necessary." "What you say makes sense." Willow chewed on her lip, not looking totally convinced. "I like that the current St. Valentine is open to change," Paris continued. "I also like that he doesn't have a problem with a half-magician being educated here at the college. Still, I sense that he's going to lose power unless he can put those old crusty families who have no desire to take FGA to the next level in their place. You may underestimate what we're up against here," the headmistress stated.